This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
We've forgotten that there was also an opportunity where the youth as well were there during the empowerment drive as well. So.
Oh, yeah, that was before. All right, so we're not going to repeat any of this. Yeah. This would be a continuation of what we saw earlier.
It's a continuum.
That the teachers were there in January. Yeah. Who else were there? The chiefs and such were there January. Yeah. That's administration officers.
At the youth.
And then the young people were there also.
I think the clergy have been there as well.
Yeah, the clergy is always, always comes and goes. I mean, they were there before. They were there last week. So the questions that we're asking, what has it borne, or should it bear, or should we kind of actually wait the gestation period? That what we see is that these visits to State House, and what they essentially mean is that, have a day with the president, tell him what it is that you want. But I haven't seen any kind of dialogue really take place. Has there been dialogue that has taken place at these meetings?
Is there dialogue, or is it just...
Or is it just a monologue whereby I'm telling you...
That's the thing, because I haven't seen any dialogue, because I haven't seen any documents coming from there in terms of this is all we'll do, this is what we have agreed. It's all about this is what I've decided. So from today moving forward, your name will change. From today moving forward, we will work together with the church. You know what I mean? So in terms of the dialogue, no dialogue. It's pretty much a monologue. But to what extent? To achieve what exactly? Because every meeting must have an agenda and clearly spelled out strategy on what you want to achieve. So I'm yet to see that.
Okay. So the question that we're asking this morning as we talk to dear Mr. President is questions around this. Are the State House visits solving problems or just buying time? And we want to hear from you this morning. That doesn't really matter how many people then come to State House or whatever categories then are represented on a particular day. Are we having conversations about what needs to be had when it comes to the real impact of some of these things? We're going to hear from you this morning, and we're going to talk to you about that. We'll ask that you do call in. But just to then be able to lay the ground a little bit further to that is... when we see the people who are coming to State House, is that the way to deal with the problem? Or is it that problem is being acknowledged in the first place, that this is an issue? Is there a problem? Well, like, for example, why bring the private security officers to State House? For what?
I think the bigger question is, bring the private security personnel to State House.
For what?
And it remains there. Because what exactly have you achieved? What have you addressed?
No, what's the issue? Why you address? What are you? Because
and can they be addressed without them coming to State House?
Okay, so what have you achieved by bringing them on Thursday last week to State House? What has been achieved beyond them having an opportunity to say hello, see what the grounds look like? Because, and then, I guess there were some promises that were made, right? First of all, your name has changed.
Your name has changed. I think there's also the minimum wage that...
minimum wage has been increased.
Employers have been asked to acknowledge, because remember, there's a time when the president gave an order, and I think it was during May 1st, Labor Day, when the minimum wage was increased. I think they had like a 12% increase or something. So that was supposed to be implemented. And then during the meeting, the president insisted that that ought to be implemented by everybody.
That could have been an email.
Yeah.
It could have been a circular. It could have been on a piece of paper. We could have put it on X.
A memo.
It could have been a memo. It didn't have to have people throng to State House.
Yep.
So I'm asking a question with real desire to be able to understand that these visits, and they're not about to end. And he said, "In nyumba yenu, hakuna mtu anaweza niambia ati siwezi invite." What's the word for invite in Kiswahili? Karibisha watu State House. You should then be able to do that. But then what is it achieving?
Yeah.
Because we also know that there's quite a lot of resources that are being spent to have these State House visits. We're not even going to ask questions about where's the money from, because that could take us well into Tuesday, and we don't have that much time. But what is it achieving? If it's achieving something, dear Mr. President, or what was the problem? Was it that you needed employers of these private security personnel to understand that minimum wage needed to be adhered to? Like I said, send an email. Like I said, you can talk to somebody.
Meet with the union.
Yeah, talk to the unions. Send an email to the unions even.
Do a gazette notice.
Right. the Muslim faithful who were there the day before.
Yeah, the imams.
The imams
Yeah.
and the sheikhs. What was it? What was it that you needed to tell them?
Yeah.
What was the problem that you were solving by having them? Or was it just a visit?
Yeah.
Or did you need to now pair them up with the meeting that you had the previous day or the 2 days before that
Yeah.
with the religious Christian leaders?
Could the meeting then as well be held, especially for the Muslim faithful, with the Chief Qadi? Because here, Chief Qadi is the one who speaks on behalf of the Muslims. He's the person who's directly connected to government. So could that communication as well go through the Chief Qadi, who would then delegate all that information and dispense it to all the imams to ensure that it gets to the Muslim faithful?
Because guess what? In the absence of that clarity,
Yep.
all we are going to do then is say that these are political meetings
Yep.
to then curry the favor of Kenyans.
Yes.
Unless you can tell me something otherwise. This is not what we are looking. So, dear Mr. President, what are you trying to achieve by this? Or is it to get Kenyans on the same page? Oh, wait a minute. When was 2060 launched, said kind of thing? That was on who was in the meeting in State House when that 2060 story came about? No, it wasn't. It was the address that the president. It was the address the week before.
So we were all there.
Well, everybody was there.
Yeah.
So you see now, you can actually do something like that. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You can actually do something like that when
Yeah.
you say, today my audience is these people,
It's these people.
and I'm speaking and I'm saying this. But you see, in the absence of the clarity, which is what we're displaying right here, we're going to fill it with something, and that the possibility that this was political in nature, in that you just kind of want to let people know that, you're the guy for the next election.
I'll cut the chase and ask the question: how different is this from what the president was doing back then as deputy president in Karen? It's pretty much the same script. It is the same thing being applied today. So tell us otherwise why whatever is happening in State House today is different from what the political meetings, the political campaigns, the meeting of different groups and charters that was signed.
Only difference is
back
I'll come
in
to you.
2021.
Yeah.
Only difference is this time
come to
round.
me, I'm not coming to
you
you.
come to me, I'm not coming to you. You come to State House.
Yeah. Okay, and in terms of what yield it's going to bear, then we also have to ask that question. But we're hearing from you this morning, and we want you to then be able to tell us, as we talk to dear Mr. President, let's get those numbers up, 0732142650 or 0732142653. Talk to us this morning, because we want to then get an understanding. People are already telling us, Apana, it's for campaigns, because why suddenly have these a year to the next general election? Why are you having different cadres of people, like you said, Aseto?
Yep.
That it is mirroring what was happening with the different those pillars for the plan in 2022. Let's hear from you this morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Morning to you.
Good morning. How are you
Morning.
doing?
I'm fine. This is Onesimus Charles from Kilifi.
Calling from Kilifi. All right, talk to us, Onesimus. What are your thoughts?
Yes, I want to contribute something to do with that issue of President calling people to the State House.
Yes.
In the first place, I want to say that the idea is totally misleading.
Why?
Because you remember last time when the president was the deputy president by then, he used to call people at Karen, and the people believed in him. Now he is thinking that the same people he was calling, they are the same Kenyans, but this time around we are different. Reason, we have come to understand that he does not tell Kenyans the truth. Unlike there before, we believed he was telling us the truth. Now, the reason as to why we are going, or people are going to State House, because personally I cannot go, is simply because people are desperate. And actually people go there to collect cash.
Okay.
Two, the same strategy is using, it will make him fail and be defeated and go home. Reason, we Kenyans, we have made a decision. Even if he calls the 57 millions of us to State House, we will not change on our decision. And I'm talking as a Kenyan, as someone who has gone through the 3 years hardship, and I'm very sure it is not making any sense.
Okay.
2, 3, the issue of calling us to State House is a waste of resources, if I may say. There's a lot of money being spent on these particular days. For example, the time he called let me call them the guards, they went around 27,000 people. If you calculate that much by 10,000 each, that is around 270 million. That money should have done something else different.
Okay.
But anyway, to cut the story short, the point is we are not going to be misled by the misleading information from our president. We love him, but he is totally not in our hearts anymore.
Wow. Onesimus.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your call this morning. Let's hear from some others, because it's interesting to hear that it doesn't matter. Call who you want is what is being said. Call all the categories, bring them. But people at the end of the day will make a choice, make a decision. Is it the best approach?
Leave alone even the best approach. The best approach, especially when you are an incumbent in office, is through services for the people. It's the people who will determine whether you're coming back or not, based off how you've made them feel, based off services you've delivered, based off the work you've done for them. But that notwithstanding, Ndu, $1 million question. In the budget for last year, was it budgeted for?
No.
So where is he getting the money from?
I don't know.
Should we be asking that question?
Yes, you should.
Yeah, because then the president as well can't remove himself from expenditure on whatever happens in State House. Why? Because Kenyans have donated that responsibility. That means every money that the president spends in public or in private ought to be something that is audited by the Auditor General, and Kenyans must see that. So I'm just asking, as I said, the simple question, can I get the audited books of all these funds and where it was budgeted for?
Assuming that there is a book.
Oh, yeah.
Let's take the calls this morning at 0732-142-650 or 0732-142-653. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Dennis and Ando.
Good morning. How
to
are you
you.
doing?
Fine, thank you. My name is Kennedy. I'm calling from Nairobi. For me, I think the president is just doing this for show. Because even the soldiers, I talked to one of them, aliniambia tulienda lakini bado ni one term. So I think he's just doing this to try as a trick in his playbook. But Kenyans are already fed up, and that's why you see this money that is dishing out to everyone. It was not is not budgeted for. That's why you see the utilization of the education budget last year was 60%. And given that almost 60% of the budget is salaries, that means the 60%, the money capitation was not being sent to school. That was part of the money that is being dished out in this kind of meetings that is calling. And also the State Department for special programs that State House included exceeded budget by over 1,000%. So that means he's really trying to bring all people on board. Now the next time, inafikiria sasa ataita hata mama mboga.
Yeah, should be expected.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everybody gets an invite.
Yeah, hata ukiingia huku mtaa unasikia si tu twende tufanye kakitu
To the State House.
State House. Yeah, because it looks like because sasa watu wa bodaboda wameshaitwa. Sasa watu wa Uber sasa wanasema sasa sisi tunafaa twende pia sisi. Sema tunataka kwenda State House, tutaitwa huko tuwe hiyo 10,000 mtu aende amaliza loan yake ama kalipe rent or something.
Yes.
Because Kenyans are really tired, but no one, hakuna mwenye anakatanga hata pesa ya bure. But if hata mimi nikiitwa, mimi naenda tu lakini ni one time.
Okay.
Because it's 10,000 for free. Why should I pretend like I'm the holiest of thou that I will not eat that much? Actually, it's our money.
Indeed.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your call. Asante sana. A couple more of those coming in this morning. Shall we take them? Okay. Good morning.
Morning to you.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm Adri Okanga.
Yes, I agree. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Kibera.
Okay. What are your thoughts, sir?
My thoughts to Mr. President is just to tell him that he should have stuck to the bottom-up agenda, the manifesto which he wrote on in 2022, on the manifesto of Mama Mboga, Boda Boda, and the Hustler Nation. If all that was to be implemented, I think there was no need of calling meetings at State House, because I'm feeling that is just a PR exercise in utility, and it is not going to yield enough fruits from the mindset which people already have. In fact, most of the people going at the State House are being recycled. Bearing in mind we have his cartels on the ground who normally pick the same names, the same for every meeting they are there. And so that meeting makes no difference to most of the people. If we should have created jobs the way he said he will be creating 500,000 jobs every year, we should not be seeing such a type of meetings at State House.
I agree. You think the president has moved away from his better agenda?
He has totally moved away from his agenda, and he has diverted to things which are not helping any common man. You call people at State House, you give them 10,000, you take the same 10,000 with the left hand through the taxes. I'm requesting Mr. President to just polish up and improve on the health sector, to improve on the education system and on the food security. Because once he does that, I doubt if people will be vulnerable to be visiting State House. Because most of the people visiting State House are vulnerable, have no jobs, and so they are going there for tokenism. The 10,000, maybe they could pay rent 1 month and do shopping for like 2 weeks.
I hear you. Thank you very much. I agree. Your points are actually quite valid. I mean, just listen to that. Thank you so much. Let's hear from some others. But listen to that, where it's clear. He's saying, you know what? If some of these things were working, that you make a call to State House, the likelihood of them appearing in numbers is reduced. Because these things are being sorted. They don't need to come. You wouldn't even need to call them. You wouldn't need to call them because things were actually working. So there would be no need. There would be no need. There would be no need. Okay. We'll hear from you guys this morning. 0732142650, 0732142653.
Yes. So, Mtuflani says, Aseto, yes. Atiklaji even know which cabinet has sugar huko State House. Msomokweli says Ethicon himself has been bought a mansion worth 87 million shillings in Karen.
We don't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
We don't know that, but that's according to Mtuflani. Msomokweli says this is impunity and disregard to rule of law and constitution by Kasongo. You can't use public money and resources to do political campaigns for your party, and other politicians aren't. Ama hizo bahasha za 10K ni kuosha pesa, dirty money into the system. That's according to Mtuflani, and questions being raised. Can we benchmark with our neighbors? Does this happen? That is according to Linda Agola. And yes, indeed, great question. It's for campaigns. Ndio watu waambiwe personalized two-term campaigns, according to Smokey McBandit. Huesero 2012 says, most Kenyans will be bought except for a few all Kalau. It's high time we taught politicians a lesson. Kula pesa and vote against them. Madly African, we need to hold corporate G4S etc. attending State House lottery. You can't fence seat on matters of national interest. You must stand for something. Being a puppet of Ruto will not cut it. Samuel Karongo says, we got a president and executive after grossly failing to dispense good governance as our powerful constitution has resulted to expend public funds to buy political support and absurd wars and corruption.
Yep. It seems to people that this is not about anything in terms of development, but just to make sure that people are on your side when it comes to the election.
Yes.
We'll take a couple more calls before we go to the break. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Let me only pass a question. I'm Biwot from Nandi.
Yes, Biwot.
How many times did Kibaki call people to State House? Let us ask ourselves.
I can't remember.
I don't think so.
How many times? This is a waste of time. Let us not waste time with this. I am tired.
Yeah, you too.
Couldn't have said it any better.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do right now is that we're going to take a quick break. And then we're going to come back and continue taking your calls. Don't go away, folks, because we'll continue this conversation. We definitely want to hear from you. It's 9:30 on the nose. We'll come back and continue. We'll take your calls. Worry not, as we continue to get your comments. Biwott has put a full stop there.
I'm tired.
I said I'm tired.
Let's stop wasting time.
Okay, we'll be back after this, folks.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
I didn't say that. I'm just asking if it's actually fulfilling our role. I'm asking what role it's fulfilling.
He's doing it for political reasons. That is the reason.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong about that because the money that he's giving out is money that is meant for Kenyans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
because even if he fails to give the money out, where will you get that money? You'll not get it, my dear.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's just very much okay. It's very much okay.
Sawa.
I mean,
thanks very much for your call. Asante sana.
Depends on what side of the fence you're in, you know.
Yeah.
It makes sense to you. Sawa, you want to go sightseeing, it's cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the money is yours anyway, you know, as opposed to you working hard and getting that money every other day, you know. So if you go there and get 10,000 bob today, Sawa, if tomorrow you get nada because of policies that are there, I mean, you live by the 10,000. It's cool.
All right. Okay, makes sense. Kerry is also calling in from Kilelesha. Hello. Good morning, Kerry.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing okay. I think I visited, in my life I visited State House only once.
Okay.
And that was during the Kibaki regime. And he had wanted ideas on the new constitution. So those days I used to be among the village mobilizers for the new constitution.
Right.
Under the citizens for under Katiba Watch, actually, in the civil society. So we went to State House and we were giving views on how we can have a new constitution. And I think it was Wapaward, everybody from Nairobi was speaking, but I can tell you, we did not walk out of that house with a single cent in our pockets.
Okay.
That was Kibaki for you. And I know many people who went there and it was not a space for bribing people. You only went there on appointment. And it was very specific. We went in at 8, by 10 we were all out because Kibaki said he has appointments planned for the whole day. These ones here are going early in the morning from 4 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Yeah.
So that is a head of state occupied campaigning from 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. With all the cabinet ministers present, deputy president seated there, the rest of government. Now government stops to focus on the groups that are visiting State House. It cannot be ordinary, like a previous caller said. It cannot be obvious when Kenyatta National Hospital patients don't have food, don't have medication. The cancer machines are dead. The dialysis machine is dead. And people are being sent to private hospitals where they cannot afford.
Kerry,
now it ends up... Yes, sorry.
Kerry, do you think that Kenyans who get invited there make the connection that maybe if we are being spent on 270 million shillings, just as a number, that maybe that 270 million shillings in a hospital would benefit many more Kenyans?
I tell you, the people are very aware, and those who went there, like the few have interacted, our guards that I've seen here in Lavington, and those who have told me about why they went. First, it was forceful. They were told you have to. It was a must.
Okay.
But they said that we are going there, and he's spending our own public money. When tomorrow I fall sick and I will not get treatment, when my salary cannot be raised because these companies have don't even listen to labor laws. When my workplace has not been improved, why should somebody expect? Why should somebody expect that I should vote for them, or just because for one day he has given me 5,000? So our people are very aware, even as they scramble to State House gates. They are very aware that this is a scheme, a bribery scheme, and they are seeing it through what it is.
Okay.
And I'm just wondering, doesn't the president have advisors who can tell him, instead of wasting time on such things, why don't you do what is necessary? Because if you have the energy to shout from morning to evening, why don't you put the same energy into doing what is right?
Good question.
Yeah.
Kerry, thanks for your call. Let's hear from some others this morning as well.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for contributing. All right. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Seth Okuma. I'm calling from Kisumu.
Yes, Seth.
Here's my opinion on the visits to State House.
Okay.
I think the presidency is a symbol of national unity.
Yes.
And my opinion is that any person from any corner of this country should be able to visit State House.
Okay.
As to the cost implications that you keep on talking about and other Kenyans keep on talking about, I think every financial year their audit accounts on how State House spends money on what and where. And to state that the president cannot host delegations or attaching a cost to it is missing the point. Whenever we approach an election, it is important to have national consensus. It is important to have the nation heading into an election as one. And so my thinking is that when we are having these meetings, the president is trying to build consensus as a nation that which direction do we want to take. Not necessarily because he would want people to vote for them, but because of the experiences we've had in the past, that it is important to have a unified nation as you go into elections. There are those basic things you should agree on as a nation, and then you head into an election. So I am looking at it from the perspective that the president wants to bring the nation together. Whether they vote for him or they do not vote for him is immaterial. The point is that the nation heads into an election together as one. And my opinion is that you cannot put a cost to peace. You cannot put a cost to that. If that is what would lead Kenyans to having an election that is devoid of violence, an election that is free, an election that's fair, let us allow the president to do that. In any case, we elected him to represent us. If he's meeting people who are Kenyans, I don't see any problem in that. That will be my opinion.
Is the country divided or fighting for the president to call meetings ostensibly to encourage peace as we head to the general election?
A few days ago, a member of parliament from Central, I think, was arrested from the citizen prisons based on the comments that they made on national TV. If you've heard the sentiments coming from leaders in Central, leaders in Western, leaders in Luo-Nyanza, it points towards a dangerous trajectory. We have been there before as a nation. And so it behooves the president to be able to bring together all these divergent views and the representative, the people who elect these leaders, who better to go to than those who put these people in power? Because the leader might say whatever he or she wants, but the people who elect them, if you reach out to them and point out some issues to them, look, we are heading into an election, we want to have an election in this manner, it is easy. I think the direction this nation is taking, particularly with remarks, comments coming from all corners with elected leaders, if not properly checked, would not be proper. And I think that is what the president, in his own wisdom, is trying to do by building a consensus, meeting various people across the country.
Do you think that the people who've gone for these meetings, and the last question to you, are of this understanding? Do you think, for example, that the I forget what we're supposed to call them now, the
private security
officers who went there on Thursday are in the same thinking, that they understand that this is about unification and peace building, and that's why they're there? Oh, he's gone. All right. But that's the question I think you can ask. Do you think that these groups, if this is a unification process, do we feel as though the people who are coming are understanding that actually, you know what we're doing? We're going to endorse unification. We're going to endorse peace. We're going to endorse that we're going towards an election year and that everybody needs to be on the same page.
You know, when you talk about peace or security in the country, you have the National Police Service, right? You have NCIC that then gets to handle these issues. Then you have community leaders, you have members of parliament. Like the president himself controls majority of members of parliament. All he needs to do is call a parliamentary group meeting and have a discussion with these members of parliament and drum it into their heads as to why they need to change how they speak. That can equally also be communicated through the National Assembly Speaker to their members of parliament, because the gentleman you're talking about is a member of National Assembly.
Absolutely.
There are better ways these things can be communicated at no cost.
Okay, we're going to keep hearing from you. Call 0732 142 650 or 0732 142 653. Joe in Nakuru, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, Joe, good morning.
Yes, how are you?
Very well,
thank
thanks.
you.
How are you?
I'm good.
Where are you calling from?
Joe in
I'm
Nakuru.
calling from Nakuru.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell us what your thoughts are around the State House visits.
Now, about the State House visits, actually, for me, I see nothing wrong in visiting the State House. Because even in the United States, public, they normally visit the State House. They're taken on a tour to demystify what happens there. You only need to do an appointment to go there and see.
Okay.
If at all you manage to stumble on the president, he can say hi, but don't even expect a cup of tea. Now, what is happening is, if bribery is taking place or people are being dished out with money, it can be something very serious wrong. Not necessarily on matters of ethics, but when you look at the global economy, when we have a pool of producers, people who are taxed money, and then that money ends up for further reinvestment, it is normally a cycle. When you get that money, you invest. You get that money, you invest. Today, I don't know where that money is coming from. But those people who are having that money, if they can just put up an industry somewhere, create more employment, that becomes very healthy to the economy. Because the moment you continue giving people money and they are not working, the production component of it is declining. And eventually, when you continue reducing the number of people who are supposed to be producing, and you're having more people who are just getting money without producing, the economy goes down.
So there's a problem with bringing people to this space, giving them something, and then telling them to go home. That's not how to do it.
Yeah, that is a bit out of order.
Okay.
It's out of order.
Okay.
It's out of order.
Okay.
But because it's good to give money to the aged people. It's good to give people and create facilities for those people who are sick. But unfortunately, if you give somebody money and he has not worked for it, totally to the economy, you are crushing it. And it requires somebody else to analyze the consequences of all these activities, because it must be running into millions or billions of money. And if at all a study was to be done, the extent and damage which is going is serious. Not necessarily just that money which is being given. These guys are stopping working. If they were washermen, they go. They were not, and for that day they were not working. They visited the State House and they were paid salaries. People stopped actually borders, taking people for a ride, and so services were not being provided somewhere. And people went and sat somewhere, but they still made money. So when you look at the total economy, bottom line is a serious leakage, and that leakage, to plug it, it will require now the few people who are producing the money and they are being taxed. They have to dig more. Government is going to increase taxes, blah, blah. But probably if at all the trade is not there, you have nobody to tax. And all of us will be queuing to the State House, for heaven's sake.
Right.
But
How many
where
people
are
will
those
come?
people? How many people? The whole country, but all the troop there. Everything will go to a standstill eventually. So to save the economy, I think the president requires to be advised seriously. This better change the strategy. Unfortunately, the strategy is coming too early in time. I wish actually these campaigns were starting somehow. I'm also against totally about this issue that people are campaigning, be it opposition or be it Rida Mwananchi, be it DSCP or whatever. Because when people actually are riding the streets on top of vehicles and whatever, they're not working. They're not working. They should be limited, and IBC should be very clear, and people actually should be penalized. Disqualification, all these things. Today, America is going to polls actually just around the same time we are going to polls. They don't have a candidate even for presidential for Democratic Party. They are doing serious preliminaries, and they are doing it in a very calculated way. So as we lobby, we want to be a civilized economy, but we don't do things in the right way. When people actually they are waiting for Sifuna, they are waiting for Gachagua, they are waiting for the president, people are not productive. See what. So you talk of just that short instance that we have people in serious campaign mode, like it was happening to Okara. It was all in the news.
Yep.
People are not farming. So when you explode that onto the scale of a national level, definitely things are not going right.
All right.
Tomorrow, you're going to have people on the streets. All of us are going to become beggars. I'm sorry to say that.
That's the point. Joe, thank you for your call. Let's hear from some others this morning as well. Wow. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Spice FM.
Good morning. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Edwin from Kisumu, Europe.
Yes, Edwin. What are your thoughts? Are these State House visits achieving anything?
I'm so humbled. How was your weekend?
Very well, thank you. And how was yours?
Mine was too good also.
Fantastic.
Let me just concentrate on the matter today. I think we have got a president who thinks that he's most learned and the rest are imbeciles.
Okay.
The way he comes and the way he talks to other Kenyans seems like he's most learned and the rest are imbeciles. The bribery level to the Kenyan taxpayers. You know, the taxpayers' money is being misused. That is why you see the level of bribery has come up. How comes that you invite the Kenyans to visit the State House, whereby they are being bribed, 10,000 each? If you make the calculation, amounts to more than 200 million. When you check on the sector of health, the health workers are striking. Why? Because of the payment. They are not maybe paid, but the Kenyan taxpayers' money is being misused on bribery. That is totally rubbish to me. And that's why I'm saying that, and I stand on it, that this Kenya will only be saved by God. But the level it is being run by our president, it's not good at all. Going forward, even the election that is coming up, the general election will be like the Olkalau. And I wish that God can grant us the life so that we reach there. He will be shocked. Kenyans are really tired. And we are really tired. We are going to show him the way forward, one term until the end.
Wow.
Thank you.
He says we'll show him the way forward. But one would assume that this is actually not the way forward. We're taking your calls this morning on Dear Mr. President and saying, okay, well, invite anybody that you want to State House, but does it actually solve the problems? Okay, we're still hearing from you this morning, 0732-142-653 or 0732-142-650. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. Please turn down the volume on your radio or TV.
Yeah. Collins from Eldoret.
Yes, please, Collins. What are your thoughts this morning?
Very devastated. I remember there was a time I called and I said, you see, as always we speak of president is a symbol of national unity.
Yes.
And policies of the president is the one that runs the country.
Yes.
Yep.
It has never been policies of county or what. So what the president is doing, we have had many presidents visiting the State House is not visiting heaven. What you need to do, instead of inviting those people there, and the money that you are using, by then I've worked in the country, entire country. You go to school, you find there are no toilets. There are not clean toilets. You are using 100 million bribing people. 100 million can build you one toilet. A 5 million toilet costs 300,000. How many toilets do you have built in school?
True.
Schools don't have water.
Yeah.
You are calling people there who are working and being paid. You are giving them handouts every day. You use 100 or 200 million every week. How many boreholes would you have dug in the arid areas?
True.
Like Lodwar. You go to Lodwar, people are running in down the street. They don't have toilets. They go to the bush. And you see, I think we are losing it as a country because I think what is the economy of a country? We always have three things: health. The first one is education, health, and food security. If the president has only done, leave alone with the roads, leave alone with the airport, leave alone with the 4 lanes, what do you call it, Mombasa Road. You are doing Mombasa Road at a cost of 200 or something billion.
Yeah.
And we don't have schools.
True. We don't.
Our hospital has been on their knees.
Yeah.
The parole. Let us ask ourselves the real question. You see, even Singapore. Somebody said Singapore, we are going to Singapore. It's okay. Building road is not taking us to Singapore.
No, it's not.
Singapore is not, roads were not built in Singapore. The first thing that King did when he came in, he dealt first with the corruption.
He did.
He said, no, from now onwards, corruption is zero.
Yep.
Poverty level in Singapore is 1% or 2%. Corruption level in Singapore is 0.5%. What is the corruption level in Kenya? What is the poverty level in Kenya?
Those are the questions that must be asked.
Start deal with the basic things. Basic. Houses are not the problem. The problem is that people don't have money in their pocket. You know, what Kibaki did, he came in and made sure, okay, they were stealing in Kibaki's government. There was no limit. But people were feeling the money in their pocket. The purchasing power was high.
Yep.
Right now, if you go to a supermarket, 1,000, you just come with 2 items. You will not feed your family.
True.
So I think we are getting it wrong as a country by praising people who build. I believe roads should be the last thing. We should deal with the basic. It's like you in the house, you do. In your home, you have 1,000 shillings. Or you have 100,000. Will you go and build a house and you are inside the house, or you will just take your kids to school? You make sure that your kids are healthy, and you make sure that they eat.
Yes. Yeah. This is the question.
You do the basic things. That is the first thing that the president would have done. Food security. You see, you tell us you've reduced fertilizer from 6,500 to 25. It's okay. But when you go again, ask the farmer. Fertilizer is only 10% or 15% of the farm input. So have you helped? No, because still fuel is high. That person will come and cultivate your land, plow your land and do everything. The cost is still high because the fuel is high.
Okay.
Taxes on farm input are high, except fertilizer. So we are just rotating on one thing and promises. Anyway, let us pray as we have been saying, God will help us improve that.
I guess so. Thank you very much for your call this morning. I mean, there's a point that he's made today.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take the last couple of calls this morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes,
morning,
sir.
how are you?
I would like to summarize my name because time is over. I'm
Okay.
Karaja Waweru from Nakuru, Bahati.
Yes, Karaja.
President Dr. William Samoei Ruto was elected with a goodwill by all the persons who elected him. And he would have been the best president ever in Kenya if he had ruled the country using the constitution in the right way. But from the look of things, he was not ready to be elected. He thought he was just trying, then he would try the next time. So when he was elected, he was confused. May I also say this? President Ruto is fascinated by crowds. Initially, he used to attract crowds organically. For him now to attract crowds, he has to pay them. Imagine the man was wasted by those people who he invited in the State House. In 1992, we were invited by the late President Moi in State Lodge in Nakuru, where he gave us each 200 shillings. I remember I picked 200 shillings from State House.
Yeah.
that crowd then is different from the crowd now. Most Kenyans are very much enlightened. Or Kalau should give him a lesson or teach him a lesson.
Yeah.
Now the sad thing is this. The president is making Kenyans to be dependent on handouts. And this habit is entering into people's minds slowly by slowly.
Yeah.
So instead of making people creative and work hard,